talking about your rights with gifts. I mean, there are so many threads to this, from deliveries when they say, oh, God, do you know what? I could get angry even talking about this. You know, when you get an email or a text saying your parcel's been delivered and you're waiting for something that's worth £90 that you've spent all your money on as a present for somebody, and it hasn't. Oh, God, it boils your blood, doesn't it? And then you have this panic and you're trying to get hold of them and then answering the phone. And how about if you're given a gift and you don't have a receipt and you don't want it, you don't like it, maybe something doesn't work? There's just lots to find out about. So our expert who's with us here on BBC Radio WM is the lovely Scott Dixon, known as the Complaints Resolver, good friend of our show. All right, Scott, Merry Christmas.
Good morning, Molly. Merry Christmas to you too.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm speaking to you from Benidorm, would you believe? So the sun's shining here and it's about 80 degrees. So
what are you looking at as we speak?
I know.
No, what are you looking at as we speak? What's your vista? Are you on your balcony?
Yeah, I'm near the balcony. Sun's shining.
Go over to the balcony and go on. Describe the scene. We can all live vicariously.
I'm in the heart of the Benidorm Old Town, so just
nice.
Quite quaint streets and
nice.
It's nice and it's traditionally Spanish.
Got blue sky.
Blue skies, yeah, and just a short walk from the beach and the promenade. So it's really good.
We've got a storm here. It's awful.
I know. That's why I came away to get away from it.
Right, well, Scott. That aside, I've wound myself up slightly with imagining the emails I've had in the past about your item's been delivered when it hasn't. We might get onto that in a little while. But let's talk about receipts and refunds first. I'm just going to pass this over to you. I'm not even sure where to start with these, but I mean, we do have rights, don't we?
We do, and if you have a gift receipt and the gift is unwanted, so you just don't want it, you can return it to the store if you've got the gift receipt, and you're relying on the terms and conditions of the retailer, so they may give you a voucher, a refund, or a replacement, but it's not legal, right? So you be nice about it, and you get what you give. But if you don't have a receipt, you will struggle because you need proof of purchase. But the crux of it is, if you have a gift receipt and the goods are faulty, you can return it within 30 days and get a full refund. And a gift receipt would cover that as it's proof of purchase, and it extends the consumer rights to the recipient. So it is a bit of a minefield, and I can understand why people just get a bit confused about it. And
I guess the giver is hesitant to hand over the receipt because it takes away a bit of Christmas magic, doesn't it, if you know exactly what someone spent on you?
Well, what the giver should do is ask for a gift receipt to be enclosed with the purchase.
Does that not have the price on?
It doesn't have the price on. So Primark and Marks and Spencer's, for example, they don't have the price on. But you can ask for a gift receipt, and it extends the time for the recipient to return the goods if they don't like them or it doesn't fit or whatever else. So that's one thing that you need to do if you are buying gifts. Ask for a gift receipt, because it will give you an extended length of time to either return it or replace it or whatever.
And I've just thought as well, even if you have the receipt with $9.99 or whatever on it, I suppose you could always slip in the Christmas card at the bottom. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. If you don't want it, let me know and I'll swap it or something.
Yeah, that's
let
right.
them know it's an option.
And if you are having problems, just maybe ask the giver if they can help you out. It makes for a bit of an awkward conversation, I suppose.
Well, you and I spoke, didn't we? We speak all the time about presents and stuff, and we say this most years, especially with cost of living now, that not everybody just wants stuff, and it's a shame because of that awkward conversation some people don't want to have. They'll just keep the stuff, and it'll just sit in a drawer for years, or it'll go to charity, and it was never wanted, and it's just a waste of money on all sides. So it's best just to have that sort of either an honest conversation or, as you say, a sort of a gift token or something like that.
Yeah, and if you have got gift cards, my advice would be to get it spent as soon as possible, because we're coming into January and February, which are traditional quiet periods for retailers, and many of them will be in financial difficulties. So, if you do receive a gift card, make sure you get it spent as soon as possible, because if a firm folds and goes into administration, you've lost your money.
Oh, never thought of that.
Yeah, and if you are in that position and the gift card has been bought by a credit card, I mean, if it's over £100, that is, you've got Section 75 liability under the Consumer Credit Act 1974, so you can make a claim on that. But also, you've got a 120-day window with debit card and credit card transactions to make a chargeback. So if you get a gift card and you haven't been able to get it spent, you can ask the giver to raise a chargeback and get the money back that way from your bank if it falls within 120 days. So it's something to consider, because a lot of firms will be facing financial difficulties as we come into 2024.
And on another strand of that, Scott, and I'm guilty of this. There's a little drawer with a few in, not a huge amount of money, but it annoys me that I've wasted it. Is that I'll put them away thinking, I'll do that next time I go to M&S or and then I forget about it, and then you forget that they've even got a best by date on. That's the wrong terminology, but a spend by date, and you can quite easily just miss it, and what a waste of money again.
I know. I mean, I think we're all guilty of that. I've got one for Odeon. Would you believe? And it was bought pre-COVID. I've never used it, and one thing I would suggest is you can maybe speak to customer services if you're in that position and ask if they're just willing to just honour it,
Yeah.
And they can. I'm sure they can, but you've just got to be nice about it, because it's not a legal right. If the card is expired, you're going to be struggling. But all is not lost. You can always just ask customer services and just be nice, and hopefully they'll be able to, just maybe cite customer loyalty. You've been a loyal customer. You've really enjoyed the experiences in the past and things like that. Just
a final question, Scott, and that is on